Have you seen this movie, dude? If not, you are being severely judged by goats. Watch this movie, not just for Fiennes' dick. I wouldn't blame you if that's like the reason why you wanted to watch it, but there are other reasons. Once in a decade do we get a movie like this. It's 1 in 100,000, if not a bagillion, and it's perfection dumped all over the place, like a wild raken going through your garbage. This movie pulls on my giblets. Favorite actor, favorite source material, favorite directing style, superb pacing, intelligent dialogue, subtext. I'm so tired of movies being like, hey, let's tell them exactly what's going on. Do they not realize that they need to tell us what's going on without telling us what's going on? Look at you, Disney. I prefer Datney. So I understand that this movie tickles me in a particular way, all right? But I got the feather here, and I'm gonna make your guts go a-galloping. Pow! The Odyssey, right? War, blood, honor, loyalty, intellect, and genuine human failure and triumph. All play to the astounding backdrop of cruel, capricious, and calculating gods.
We're on a mission from God.
I love Greek mythology. Everything from Kronos and Gaia and the creation of the universe with Uranus, I think he was in there somewhere, all the way down to like Jason and the Argonauts and like Medusa, the tragedy of Medusa. And yeah, that was a tragedy. I mean, if you know, you know. I love this movie. I rented it on Prime before it was even available on DVD, and as soon as I finished it on Prime, I went and rewatched the entire thing again, and then rewatched all my favorite scenes like a dozen times over, dude, like for real. And I went and ordered the DVD. It wasn't even out at the time, but I pre-ordered it from my DVD collection because it belongs in my DVD collection, for sure, dude. It's that freaking good, man. This movie is a diamond in the rough, man. If it was released in the 1990s or some era before the corrupt freaking Oscars in Hollywood and all that bullcrap, it would have grossed all the money, all the ruples, all the quid, all the pesos, whatever currency you like to buy your whey protein in. Like, ugh. Anyway, let me prove to you that somebody understood the motherfucking assignment. Let's go. Let's fucking go. The movie opens with beauty, coldness, and a naked Mr. Fiennes. Settle down. Settle down. This sets the tone perfectly for us. Perfectly. It's going to be real, it's going to be harsh, and brimming with tender care for every single shot. See you dopehead directors out there in Hollywood? See what greatness look like? Where'd it go? Where? See what greatness looks like? Pay attention, dummies. So right out the gate, it tosses some parts of the books for just astute realism. No Artemis, no gods, and Telemachus is like, he's there, he's not afar doing whatever it was he was doing in the book. I can't really remember. Normally, I have very big issues when you ignore this part of the source material, but when you trade out those fantastical parts for a down-to-earth, savagely realistic interpretation, you have my attention. The world that they create before us is raw and real and wriggling. Instead of Odysseus being delayed by the whims of the gods, he is a soldier, absolutely tortured with what he has done. PTSD to the max, bro. It costs him not only his sense of self, but by being the only survivor of his kingdom, he is just racked with guilt, rotting his insides, and this is evident in almost every single scene. The story unfolds this theme with pure tenderness and reverence for the character, and Fiennes delivers this portrayal with absolute perfection. Perfection, my dude. I will fight you. Golly gee willikers, what a good actor. What a good actor. Good show, lads, good show. Fiennes learns what becomes of his country, people, and family as he names himself a beggar and walks amongst them in secret. Afraid and ashamed of what war and the slaughter of the Trojans have twisted him into. Hesitant and unsure if he even deserves to feel the love of his wife's touch, or the love of his son, or the adoration of his people. Fiennes' real identity is slowly realized by his loyal servants and family members. Binoche playing off Fiennes like a pro. She is calm and collected, her face showing all yet hiding everything at the exact same time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Acting. She knows the man before her immediately. His ruse holding no grip on her. She quickly understands the situation that's been put before them and turns in lockstep with Fiennes with barely a word spoken. It's all subtext. Subtexty text. God, I love this. I love this movie. This movie is awesome, dude. It is spectacular. This movie assumes that the audience is smart and paying the fuck attention. She lets Fiennes maintain his ruse out of sheer fear, anger, and spite, and moves forward as if he's just some old beggar. She sees immediately that he's a shell of his former self. He is not the man who left her 2 decades ago, man. Realizing all of this over a simple conversation about the effects of the brutality of war on men's hearts and minds. Fucking subtext! It's a lost art, my dudes. I mean, it really is. It's a lost art. Fiennes leaves knowing he may never claim her hand again, or at least he thinks so. He tries to leave knowing it's too late to mean much of anything to those he left behind. Knowing that the war and the guilt and all the trauma has left him, has just eroded him into this person that he is now. And he does not want to fight anymore. He does not want to spill another drop of blood. But as the pressure from the suitors becomes unbearable, his son's life is threatened and they begin to hunt for Telemachus. They didn't have guns then, so it's more of a spear action. It's more of a sword type of...
Beleza? Eu tenho namorada.
Fiennes is forced to kill again or watch his son die. And the bloodshed begins in an unbashful, unforgiving, pure violence, giving utter care to the portrayal of a grizzled war veteran and the spoiled, inexperienced suitors playing with swords. Ha, losers! Fiennes reveals himself to his son, and it is not a joyous reunion. Telemachus hates him, wishes he was dead, man. Blaming Fiennes for all the suffering he and his mother have endured. Characters acting as characters should, with complex emotions and complex outcomes. Reality is never black and white. It's all fucking shades of gray. That's not what I meant. The jig is up now, and Binoche can no longer delay the suitors. She devises a most perfect plan. She's so smart. She's such a smarty farty. She devises a plan not only to rid herself of the suitors' oppression, but also put the screws to Fiennes and wring him from his melancholy. To see if what's left of him can still fill the shoes of his former self. And Fiennes answers that call. Pacow! Answers the call by stringing a bow with his eyes closed, dude. As if pulling on a pair of well-worn boots, the memory foam insoles matching his toesies perfectly. His wife is called to him. His son is called to him with a little prodding from the wife, but that called to him nonetheless. And the revenge begins. Fiennes mows down the suitors, man. Just pacow! 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 That's what bow and arrows really sound like. Don't look it up. Just have faith. You gotta have faith in these situations. Never missing a single shot, showing no mercy, no hesitation, no sorrow. And when he runs out of arrows, he makes quick work the rest of the suitors with his sword, turning the remaining suitors into blood bags who just need to be spilt. Ka-cha! Ka-cha! There is nothing on his face. No hate, no rage, no judgment. Just an old soldier who has work to be done, so work he does, using skills that he is all too familiar with. His son is beside him and he gives him no encouragement, no approval or disapproval as they cut down man after man who are begging for their lives. This is simply work for the old soldier. Like a car salesman selling a sedan or a NASCAR driver turning left, or is it right? Turning left. He is a craftsman of exceptional capabilities and he is performing his craft. At the last of it all, the final suitor bows his head. Binoche urges mercy, not for the suitor, but for her son's soul. And as she screams, Telemachus brings down his shivering blade, whoosh, cuts the dude's head off. And it means nothing to Fiennes. Absolutely nothing. He's seen this scene play out over 100 dozen times. He has stepped into the well-worn shoes of his former self, and he is the Wise King once again. And this leads me to the only bone that I have to pick with this movie. After the butcher of the suitors, right? The room that which they get butchered in is all cleaned and scrubbed and bleached, I guess. I don't know how ancient. I don't know what kind of ancient cleaning, some sort of salt or something. The room's clean. Telemachus is clean. But Odysseus still remains all bloody and whatnot. So I can't help but think that, all right, so so the time elapse is like, what? How? And why is Odysseus still bloody? And it's like, this is done only to fulfill the final scene in the movie. And so right here, I just forgive it. I forgive it 100%. To thunderous applause do I forgive it. Because that final scene is so purposeful. So purposeful. Binoche is washing Fiennes in a bathtub, taking all the blood and grime and guts from him, begging him to tell her of all the tragedies that he's endured so that they can bear that burden together. And the last final little blip of the movie is just knowing that she still loves him. Gorgeous! Gorgeous!
Deadliest snake on earth came up and gave me a lick.
This movie is freaking brilliant, dude. Perfect in almost every single way. The one hitch in my giddy up, I forgive it completely 100%. I don't care. Now I get that I have a particular draw when it comes to this movie. So there are others who may not agree to the degree that I have or disagree altogether. And to those people, I say, yeah, all right. But all in all, it's the way this movie is crafted with sheer respect for the audience, sheer respect for the source material. It's not drip feeding us some drivel from an insidious mind bent on greed. You lazy Hollywood fox. Care went into this. Passion bore it into existence. And with that passion, it coats every single scene. This should be the standard for Hollywood. Instead, it's outcast, shelved upon the rack of destitution, sentenced to the obscure. Truly a diamond you must dig for when you possess the sheer starvation from venerated storytelling. And that's why it'll be placed on my shelf, my DVD collection, and watched time and time again with utter care and appreciation for the love that went into its creation. Fuck modern movies.